This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.
Tēnā rā koutou katoa e te iwi nau mai ki tēnei whiringa tō, and this is it. It is the 2023 Bunnings Warehouse National Touch Championship gold medal match. We've got whakatū from Te Tauiho o Te Waka, the top of the South Island there, Nelson, and taking on the Auckland Open Mix, who have had a mortgage on this grade. They're going for their 8th gold medal. And I just want to give a big shout out to Tony Lagahetau. He's the one that started the journey for the team. They won down in Christchurch many years ago. I remember that because we lost to them in the final, and they've just continued to go on. Tony's brought 3 new players. Peter Samuel's on board now. And then you have players that are giving back, the likes of, I see Louis Nichols in the coaching staff, unable to play but contributing there. So I'm with my good friend Maya, and this is going to be a special one now, Maya.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird actually watching this game for me. Obviously, the last time at the Open Nationals, we had the opportunity to be involved in this game. We being the Thames Valley, and we were against the formidable Auckland side. But should be a cracker. I know you went and watched one semi-final, and we had Nelson on the live stream of the other, and the Anderson brothers. They're pretty awesome. Ben and Henry work together most of the time, and then we have Simon. A lot of the time I seen him in that last game anyway, working with Tony. Been the mixed coach, the New Zealand mixed coach, long-time New Zealand mixed coach, Sika. You must love this end of the tournament. You must love seeing almost like a trial without it being a trial.
Yeah, it is. It's great to see the type of depth that we have in the mixed game. We select from all 3 grades, the men's, the women's and the mixed. But I think this is probably one of the more stronger years where 4 or 5 teams really had a red hot chance to make this final. But here we have it, the creams here, and as I said, Auckland and Nelson. It's been great getting around and watching it because there's some outstanding females that have been standing out through all the top 4 teams. We've got young Kira Fisher, who's part of the squad, coming through. Young Jade McDowell, who's in New Zealand 20s, through there. Also, Isabel, they've been around a long time, so it's great to see. And Soph Winnie, she was part of the program, went off to the Force, so it's very exciting. And as always, as you know, as a mixed coach yourself, you've got to have those very tough mixed ladies amongst the group.
Yep, absolutely. And Demi Sultan is one for me from the live stream game last game. Nelson, number 13, she was very sharp, both ends, attack and defence. So expecting the same again for her. So we see the 3 referees out on the pitch. Top quality refs. So for the mixed open games, these are our 5th, 6th and 7th ranked referees in the country. So you would have seen there Caleb Downs, you would have seen Cameron McDonald, and then the last one, Thomas Webster. So really good team of referees. I think what this crew will do will ensure that they keep these 2 teams apart. So we are seeing that nice flowing touch from one end to the other. We'll probably see a nice tidy ruck area around as well. Look, I'm not going to ask you your predictions. One, because you don't normally have one, you say both teams, but secondly, because I don't want to put you in a hard spot with either of those teams. So what are you expecting to see? Styles similar?
Well, Te Raukura Hawk, he played a big role in probably the last 4 or 5 minutes defensively for Auckland, and he's been part of the winning team. So he's still got that Western. Really happy with our Western, but probably my pick would have to be Isaac Tamapio. He's out of the Pearl Jam Club. Normally plays link, but he's stepped up big time in the leadership role, and man, a good value. So I think he's led this group really well. So just a few there, especially when it's in that real grindy bit. I saw those players really step up defensively. And on the other side, you don't have to question the effort and the motor of the Anderson boys, but I think ones like Jackson Taikato, some of these players have been in this final before in Rotorua, so they'll remember what it was like. And it's normally though you can't have a lull against Auckland, you can't have that bad set against them because they'll punish you. So as long as they can stay nice and consistent, I'm hoping this one is a real tight one, and we've been wanting to drop off for a while, so hopefully this this may get there. Auckland had a drop off against Otago, and then 4-on-4 it's pretty tough. But here we go. Here's the team all the way from Whakatu Nelson. We have Patterson, Sproul, Wilkins, Jackson, Taikato, Henry, Benin, Simon, the 3 Andersons. We've got Stringer, Michelle Miller, Leaf, Courtney Lott, Demi Sultan, Shannon Smith, Holly Johnson, she's very experienced, Jessie Matthews, and rounding off this Nelson team is Patrick Miller Leaf. Your coach is Wayno Anderson, your managers Gemma Taikato, and assistant managers Megan Anderson.
The Auckland team, you see key players, Biddle, Tahuri, Fisher, and then we also got Hedawini down the bottom. You talked about Isaac Tamapiao and also Isaac Walker, key players for this team. I just want to go back to a comment you made around having a lull against Auckland. One thing I can promise you from what I've seen in that live stream game, as we see there, Demi Sultan getting a groove on, is the yards, the transition through that orange zone for Nelson. They're the best in the mixed grade that I've seen. I haven't seen Auckland play so far, but if Auckland allow Nelson to do that, it's game on.
Yeah, well, it's probably too. Auckland are very good defensively through the orange, is what I saw teams exiting. So probably you may be seeing the best team exiting and probably the best defensive exiting team. So we're going to see a real clash in that orange zone, which is going to be a real mouth-watering contest. But I see we've got our man, Mr. George Yonke. He's out on the field. It looks like the leaves are blowing. What's those conditions like out there, Georgie?
Oh, I've been running out there, mate, back and forwards, getting a couple extra sausages there, taking time off the barbie there. I'm looking forward to this game. I love the mixed game. This is going to be a showdown. A lot on the line for Auckland. The crowd is pumped, ready for the action. Here we go.
Yeah, tap off, and it is Auckland with the tap off, running right to left on the screen. Here we go, Hawk on the ball, and there's Azza also out there. 7 at the right link. He's been quite handy, Ryan. He's part of the Pool Jam Club there. Little follow play on the inside, maybe. Yeah, just testing this Nelson defence there, Mike.
Yep, Nelson really sharp defence. One of their strengths as well as their yards. So need to be a little bit more accurate than that, as we see here. Just a little circle. I don't know what you call it. Just a little circle play there.
Yeah, well, they went to a bit of a man there. And just slightly late, but it's Aaron Biddle. This is a nice plant, gets on the side. Picks goes through. Ben just gets pulled a bit too far over. And that tail defender was a little bit late. He was outstanding, number 7. Seen him play a bit of men's this year for Pearl Jam. Very handy player. So there we go. Auckland open up their count 1-0 in the final.
Yep, expect to see Simon Anderson on here, number 9. Hopefully he is. No, not quite on yet. But your man, Jackson Taikato. I think that's Simon in the link spot there. 33 dump. Fake towards Simon. Check back in. Cam McDonald right on the spot. Penalty there, just not quite moving forward as quickly as they needed to. And we see there he is, Anderson, Simon Anderson. He's a real dominant force in that first live stream semi-final today.
Yeah, nice, and they love to train these boys. There's Taikato. Yeah, just forcing, yep, play through. One on the ball, Max Patterson. Just trying to move these defenders. Weston's here defensively. Yeah, very.
That's 2.
That's 2. Explain the rule there, Mike, just in case those that are watching don't know the new rule.
Yeah, just 3 consecutive penalties on the defensive scoreline by the defensive team will end in there being 1 player of the defensive team removed. That player will be the person who incurred that 3rd infraction, as we see going short side here. Great defence so far. You talked about the D in the warm-up to this match there, Hika. Great defence from the Auckland team.
Yep, Kira Fisher there. North Harbour girl moved over to Auckland to play a little bit of mixed touch. Yeah, they're very stable defensively. Auckland, just unfortunately looks like he just hit the ground a little bit hard there.
Yeah, stretched out. I hope this isn't his shoulder. Just really stretched out to try and make the touch there on Simon. Simon Anderson, as you see there, just really stretched out and just come down on it. Sometimes that shoulder just pops out. Hopefully that's not the case. It might be just winded, actually. Nothing even close to that serious, hopefully. Might have just been winded. That's what happens when you have too many abs. I haven't been winded like that before.
Don't know if you want to pull him up by the shoulder like that either. There's Malachi Te Haki, just coming around the back there. He'll head straight to the healthcare. We've got awesome healthcare here. Big shout out to the healthcare here on site. But here we go. Back at it. There's Patterson dumping in the 7. There goes Simon. Massive pass, but yeah, Auckland. That's a good tick for their defensive team, and yeah, they come home strong defensively, Auckland, in the semi, and then they get a penalty, 2 in a row. But that was Isaac, nice strong exit for them. Up steps young Quinn, New Zealand 20s. playing very, very well. These guys. Here's young Isaac. He'll lead this group really, really well. Looks like Western at dummy half. Here's Kira Fisher taking up the line. Isabel at half coming through. Yeah, a little forward pass off the ruck there.
Yeah, so a lot of referee involvement so far, but it's just setting that standard as we see. We've had a hard touch, we've had a forward pass there, a touch and pass. So I'm liking these standards being set early so that teams can lift up to where it needs to be and just make a whole lot more of a spectacle of it.
Yeah, the orange zone's just so contested now, isn't it, Maya? There's just a lot of focus in there, and they've started this one really well. Here goes 10. He was quite handy the other day when I seen him. Here's Benny Anderson. He's going to try and slide through there. Yeah, just all looking to settle, Nelson.
Yep, Ben and Henry Anderson. Oh, you weren't here for it, but the Manawatu 21 mixed team, they had this move. There isn't a name for it. There was that many around the back passes and over the shoulder passes. It was insane, and I was actually enjoying that and hope we'd get to see a bit more, but unlikely from these two teams as Auckland work their way out. Isaac Walker just takes that third touch. Good set of defence so far from Nelson. Fourth touch, heading in towards the last strike. We'll see a pick off here. Good set of D there, Hika, from Nelson.
Yeah, and even positionally where Auckland had the pick, quite a long way out off the scoreline. So, yeah, still feeling each other out there. Another little penalty in the ruck. Ball security, but it's great. Cam and them, they're right there. I don't think they're going to miss any of those little sneaky little tricks.
Yeah, quality refereeing, and you can tell because none of the players are arguing. They know that's what happened, and that's really good. But again, just set that standard early, and then we hope to see less ref and more play, which I'm sure we will. As we see a little out ball here for Simon Anderson. Steps back off his right, got numbers, drawn pass. Great work there from the winger. Hustled. Oh, might have got a boot in the head.
Yeah,
down
like Tarokura
towards that touchdown for Nelson as they go 1-1.
Yeah, and if you watch Tarokura, there he is there. He comes from this opposite middle. He chases all the way across. Real commitment coming across and puts pressure up there. Just hit the ground coming through Tarokura. He's still there. Oh, yeah.
Collected the boot from the winger there, unfortunately, as she dived over. The boot flicked up, purely accidental. 1-1. This is what we like to see. Hika, I imagine you even more so want to see this. You want to see what these players are like under pressure on the main stage.
Yeah, it's good to see them troubleshoot live. They've both got great coaches in the box that'll be sending them out different plays. But Aaron Biddle
really surprises me, that touchdown. Nelson normally so strong on their defence, and for it to go through the 2-3s, it sort of surprises me, Hika.
Yeah, they don't look like they've settled to me, Nelson. Like they're very quiet. Can't hear any real distinctive comms on the line, which you've got to be hungry. Every time when you touch down, you want to back it up with some good D. So I don't think they've settled defensively. But here we go. There's Demi at half. Player you talked about, Taikato, looks like Simon Anderson coming around on a sweep. Do you think that's a little bit like the tempo has changed for Nelson? They seem to run a lot quicker during the day, but it looks like the tempo's just chilled back a bit.
This might sound weird. I think Nelson's attack's better when it starts from their own defensive scoreline, and they've had a lot of sets either from halfway or repeat sets on the line. There she is. Good catch. Unfortunately, couldn't get it down equal. Oh, what do we got? Throwing it back.
Great honesty by the Auckland winger. She was right there, and straight away honest call, and our games are made up on this. But here it is. They really forced us, so they run this rip play, run him, get on his outside, and just baits this link defender there. And that was still good positioning by the Auckland winger. But nice honesty and a great finish by, you talked about her earlier on, Demi.
Yes, no, good all-round player, both on defence and attack. Great player, Demi, and look at her, she switched. She was on the right-hand side, now she's on the left.
Versatile.
So, yep, switch hitter as well. So we see right to left, long ball.
Forward pass by the looks of it. Going to go back to the looks like, is it forward here? Oh, I missed the call. Oh, yeah, out of the hands.
Ooh. There's been a number of those today. I tell you what, some of the beautiful passes are the ones that end up getting called forward, and you almost wish that they weren't, that they just got paid. But this is what I'm talking about here. So we see Ben Anderson on the end of that. We see Simon Anderson coming on from the box, and who's going to link up there with the number 10, Stringer. These two were formidable in that first live stream semi-final game. Oh, beautiful drawn pass by the Nelson players, in particular the Nelson link on this side.
Yeah, we've got Georgie down sideline there. Georgie, was that a play-on rule? I see you just in the corner there.
I'll tell you what, I couldn't tell because people were jumping up in front of me in excitement. I guess they were Nelson fans, but here we have a good touchdown for the Nelson team. What a great game we have from sideline.
I think 7 touches, but obviously he's scored play-on rule. Must have caught him offside. They were good enough to still go through the hands of the ladies there in the corner.
As we see, Auckland back on attack. Bit of change of momentum. Auckland went up early. Nelson fought back, got the last 2 tries. As we see Isaac Walker in here, just a quickie play. Throws it out long to an out ball. Good defence from the Nelson winger. Going back to how we're seeing Demi Sultan on attack on the right side, then she defended on the left side. Is that normal for players to be switching from side to side?
It's good to see, actually, because what they're forcing is if they're going to go back to the gill, they're forcing a left to right pass. And that's why I'm picking that's the strategy behind it. It's a bit windy also, so I think they're really backing, the guys are backing, that they're putting a gill that side, and then when they come back through, they'll put her in the middle, and look at that, yes.
Beautiful try there from number 14.
They won't be happy, Nelson, with that, like the middle. I mean, look at this, so she comes and she's actually done me half here. Quinn gets the ball, splits, he steps back into Jaden, what a finish, massive.
Jada McDowell, easy as.
Great finish for her.
3-3. I really like close games here. I'm sure you do too. So 3-3 is pretty good. Definitely not ping pong. Just good attack. And I'd say that Nelson defence, if they could pick that up, be going a bit better in this first half. As we see Simon Anderson sweeping around the back. Early release back to the right. Play on from the ref. Didn't quite hear that, the Nelson attacker.
Yeah, that's a good penalty by Western. Like he was a foot off, but he's still contested there. So, yeah, I think they'll back themselves here. Here's Tarokora's back. He got the boot to the head. Looks like he's got the healthcare there. Gets out of the touch really quick. That's great work. Yeah, look at this defence by Auckland.
Tony Sproul, both him and Simon Robinson were working well together in that live stream game. As we see the quickie, thought he was going to step back. Boom, ball down. And you can almost guarantee Cam McDonald will be taking 2 steps back and win the touchdown. 4-3 on the replay again. Just nice and slow, making sure they get the defenders up where they need them to be. Quickie play, step to the right hand side, release nice and early, gave his link all the time in the world to get to ground.
Yeah, and good D by Isaac. He really forced him out there, but he was good enough to finish it. And I just see young Tony. I think he's got fuck up with the fielding there, young Tony. So good to see. It's Nelson lead Auckland in the 2023 Open Mixed Final. This is to be crowned national champions. Auckland are going for a historic 8 games in a row, winning the national title. The only other team to ever do that is Bay of Plenty. They went 9 straight, and Auckland's chasing that historic thing. Here goes Aaron Biddle. Watch them. That's better by Ben. Sort of off the ball lifted. Probably for the first time they've actually stopped some real aggressive attack by Auckland.
George, I'm not sure who you're out in the crowd by, but you've been asking the fans who they think's going to win. What are the percentages? Who do the fans out there think's going to take this one out?
Yeah, at the moment we've got a lot of people voting for Nelson at the moment. They want them to come back. They've been around this spot. Unfortunately, I think the last Nationals they dipped out on a count back to go to play off for the plate, so they're back with a vengeance. And I think the crowd's going for Nelson for this one.
Speed to burn. You know, that was, I thought that surely he's not going to go through that short alley, but away he goes. This is vital for teams. Oh, that's big meters. He's having a great game, Aaron Biddle. First saw him play 2011 down in Nelson with the County 17 mixed. They won that title. So it's good to see him back in the mixed grade. Here goes, there's Quinn coming through. I'm not sure if Isaac gets the skip, but he's definitely got a leadership role. Quinn's got some length. Oh, what a pass. Yeah, he's part of New Zealand 20s, young Quinn. Good young man, and it's good to see him step up here in the big Open Mixed Final. George, you've been here before. Always a few bubbly nerves before the big final, Georgie?
Oh, always a few bubbly nerves, especially with the Opens, and you've got family at home that are doing their thing. You've got to worry about them and what's going on, so you've got to keep the campaign. Speaking of our family back home, I'd like to do a shout out to my wife there, doing the decks actually. regraining them and so forth. So she's been down to Bunnings and bought some product down there. So good on you, wifey. I'm here on the microphone and she's back there doing the mahi. So love you, love. Do the mahi and we'll see you very soon.
Did you say grinding? Regrinding? Was it?
Nice try there from Auckland.
Yeah,
Number 3.
Great work, Mrs. Yonke. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Quinn Milich. Mr. Kinney. It's not this one. Isaac released back to the dummy half.
And behind.
See that a lot more these days, I mean, in recent years than you did back in the day?
Yeah, you know, he lifted into the space. They still don't look very connected, Nelson, to me, on the line. Whereas Auckland look real connected, off the ball. So they've definitely got a lot of strike power, Nelson. I don't think that'll be the issue, but I'm sure they'll look to tidy that up. Here's young Tony Sparrow again, little inside ball down. Yeah, like this, they make this look quite easy. Yeah, crossover quickie here, goes with the flow here. And Jackson Taikato. But young Tony, he's played his role here too, number 2. So he's good. Steps up, pops outside, gets on the outside shoulder, gets low, ball down. Bit of a ping pong match at the moment.
Yep, like I said earlier, coaches care about ping pong, commentators don't. That's the way we like it. Why do you think there is that disconnection in the middle for the Nelson defence?
To me, there doesn't seem to be like that standout point defender that wants to, be that real strong. Like you can see, it doesn't sound like the connection's there with the comms. They just look quite passive defensively. So they're going to run a sweep here, a little bit reactive. Yeah, it seems it's still a little bit loose there, but they've definitely got to get someone on Ryan. He's been quite consistent throughout the tournament. Number 7 here, comes around, gets it, step back here off Azza. He's live also, and then bang. Yeah, so just a little bit. I haven't seen too many long over-the-top passes. Georgie, sideline.
Oh, yeah, I've just got the update, guys. The only grind that's going on is on the touch. It's actually staining the decks, guys. It's got the stain from Bunnings, so well done, wifey.
Thank you for clearing that up. And to all our listeners here, we've got a few that we want to shout out to in the half-time. But thank you for tuning in. I just heard that the ratings just went out of the roof for the mixed game, so that's always great. He looks just quite casual, old Simon Anderson.
Yeah, honestly. It looks like someone just woke him up and asked him to come play touch, and then he just comes out and destroys. And that's what I thought previously, just that calm nature, never under pressure. Yeah, really, really good. I know if you got to play with someone like that, you just never think the game is out of hand, and normally it's not because he's putting you ahead. So, yep, Simon Anderson continues to be good. Unfortunately, just messy in the ruck there from the Nelson defender.
Great penalty.
Give Auckland a reset.
I think it's all the Andersons are actually quite mellow, laid back. Seems to be a bit of a whānau trait. But here's young Weston coming there. Got Isaac Walker there, coach of the New Zealand. He's in the system now, coaching the 18s. So here he goes. He's going to get it. Might step back, get under. That's better. Oh, and just unfortunately, just threw it in. There's a few clashes here.
Yep. It's a hootie. Looks like he might have clipped another boot, was it? Just stretched out the old face plant.
Man, that's hard to do also.
Hongi with the whenua, unfortunately.
Yeah. Big shout out to our sponsors there, Bunnings Warehouse, as George said. He's been working hard and spending the hard-earned money down there at Bunnings. But this is where Auckland I saw were really strong through there too at the touch. They come through, but Nelson have done well. They really can open up the field. And look at young Kira shutting that field off there. There's Weston back into his mahi. Here comes Benny. Be good to see Benny back on the ball. Just really open up this attacking gate. There he goes with a speed. He'll cruise through here, Benny. And there's that cruisiness again. And this could be a very high-scoring open mixed final.
Yeah, so insane that as we're about the replay's about to come up, as we're seeing Wilkins there dot over. We had Anderson going back to the injury. With there being a lot of high scoring, does that suggest there's a problem with the defence? And therefore being the coach, is that something you're looking at?
They've all got their systems. I think the middle stuff, where they're getting in between there, I think that's a concern. Because you want to really trust your outsides, those connections. But they look tighter already here, Nelson. So that's what you want to force. When you want to force that, it's a forward pass. There's a little bit more, I guess, I wouldn't say risk, but opposed to stepping back and then touchdown there, forcing a pass like that long, it's more rewarding defensively. At least you're shutting or you're collapsing. At least a few players are in sync.
Aaron Biddle, the hot hand.
Yeah.
Look, Nelson need to be careful there because he's going to make that adjustment and get that right. And there was a lot of space as we see Anderson throw it out to the wing. Unfortunately, border hand couldn't quite get there. First, in that semi-final live stream, I've seen Henry and Ben working a lot together. I haven't seen them much out in the same pod in this game as much as they did last time.
Yeah, maybe Wayno coach is just looking to split it. I think what Nelson have done well when they're exiting, they're not going down that sub-box line. They'll take two and then they're going to the middle of the field. So that's real eyes up. But here we go. It looks like Malachi. And we've just lost coverage there. I think a hooky or a bird, which is one of the biggest in the world, just flew past the camera. But we're back at it. And they're really going at it, aren't they? I think when you look at the completion rate by both teams, it's been at a high percentage. You look at the variety and that are attacking with, but the hot hands are on the ball. This is where, they contest the stuff. Auckland, they're really good at it, and it's a real good part of the ball of the game where you sort of put attention on exiting. So, as you said earlier, Nelson are probably the best at exiting, and then great ball movement, eh? And I think Auckland are the best defensive exiting team. Definitely touch one, touch two.
I've had a number of players talk to me over the years around how it's quite hard to adjust in the final to the refereeing in terms of you get different level, different ability referees through the pool play, as we see. Oh, nice, he got the ball off there, did Henry Anderson. As now we see Ben, what do we have? Good touch. Hard to adjust, so you get these different leveled referees who have different standards, knowledge, experience. Then you get to the final when you get the best, and so we're seeing a lot of those things that potentially wouldn't have got picked up as we hear the halftime shooter. That's one thing I really like there from Demi Sultan. This is what she did very well in the semi-final, and she sung it again. Demi Sultan, the number 13 from the Bay of Plenty. Beautiful little catch and pass as we see here on the replay. Not too much on. Nice little tip on catch. Pass before the touch there. Got there. Split second before. Nice step back in from the winger from Nelson to take a 2-try lead. Nelson on 7. Auckland on 5 as we go to the halftime break.
Who have we got here? Anna, eh? Oh, we can just start with this one. Meg. Oh, yeah, it's cool. What's your name, darling? Micah? Oh, Jingers, we're here. I've just come from sideline at Ongley Park. Just come into the Bunnings activation tent. They've been going all weekend. Bit of face painting going on here. Megan's putting a lovely flower, I see, on a lovely young lady. She's been working hard. We had the Masters for 3 days. She's been doing a few old-timers there, putting some strange things in their faces as they play the game. But this lovely lady, look at this face. How beautiful is that? And we come over here. Anna, this is Anna. She's been working hard. She's been going many, many hours in this Bunnings tent. And we got a young gentleman by the name of?
Caleb.
Caleb, what are we getting here today, mate?
I'm just sort of supporting my team.
Supporting your team, and your team is Nelson, Auckland, Manawatu, the mighty Manawatu. They've done very well today, going through to the semis and the finals. And here he goes. He's still showing his colours there. So we get a few stripes around the side there. How are you feeling, my friend? Nervous?
Yeah, nah, not really.
Yeah, he's used to the camera. We'll see this guy in the future. We'll leave Anna and Megan to it. Everyone else is eating their sausages, playing some of that, what's that ball called, throwing cushions, everything, knocking tenpins. It's all on down here, but we'll take it back to the game. Half-time's almost over. All the best to the teams in the Grand Final Open Mix. Let's go. Touch what a game.
Kia ora whānau, and George says all the best to all the teams in the finals. And we just want to say all the best, man. Had a message come in. We had this lovely text come through to Maya. Must be a friend he may have met along the way, but it's from Zane all the way from Zimbabwe Touch. Just wants to say Kia ora Maya.
Kia ora Zane, great lad, great guy. But yeah, gets you into mischief, old Zane, so I'm glad he's in Zimbabwe otherwise. Anyway, did you like the Georgie? You know the game where you throw the cushions? It's called cornhole, I think it is, Georgie.
Cornhole?
I'm sure they had it back when he was a young lad, not too far ago. Straight into the action though. Nelson, as we see, Simon Anderson, the key one of the Andersons on the ball here, working with Taikato. Goes in, 32 bill.
Strike combo too.
6 more we got.
Strike combo too. This, you got young Tony.
Yep.
Who's, I mean, they're all quite agile, but I guess Simon's definitely got the speed. Taikato's got the low game, and I think the connector is definitely young Tony. And there we have it. You keep going, boys. That's the one. Practice, practice. Here's Taikato. That's the second penalty.
Yep.
To start this. So this is all Auckland. I mean, you've got to get a big lead. 3 ahead on Auckland's nothing. I saw it earlier on. That's a nice play. Look, this great D. Yeah, excellent work by young Jade. She got on the outside there defensively and forced Tony back on her inside. Yeah, very, very good connection here. There's Weston. Little sweep play there. All called him offside.
Yep, you hear seen the referee Thomas Webster in perfect position. He had called the Auckland defender, 3 defender offside. What I really liked is that Nelson attacker, as you'll see here, as we go into the drop, you'll see the referee call that defender, you're offside, you haven't made it back, and I love the work there from Taikato, who took that advantage, heard the referee say play through, score 8-5. Look, I'm far from saying this game's over, but Nelson very dominant so far in the first 22 minutes of this match.
Unfortunate for Weston because he actually got out of that touch, won the release. It was just a step off. But yeah, still great work, both defensively and attack. And as you said, it's ears on here. So there's Hawk with a nice plant. Just a slight timing issue, but we've got Azza out there. Here's Ryan. Been impressed with Ryan throughout the tournament. Good touch there, sweep here. Here he comes, going to go short side. Just holding up the defence. Yeah, that really, really good start for Nelson to start this one. They scored right on half-time. They scored the start of the second half, and they've defended Auckland out. Here comes Big Benny.
This is what I like from Nelson. I just love watching this. Just they don't cramp the sideline when they're getting their subs on. Players are coming on, as we see. On now, Simon coming in. Stringer, back to Simon. Get a cookie on the short side. Steps back, normally throws short. I was about to say for a beautiful pass to Stringer. 9-5, bit of momentum here. That's 3 in a row there, Hika, from Nelson.
Oh, yeah. Just really manipulated here. They got the right man checked off, steps back, right foot, and just a little bit of disconnection. And still great work by the Auckland defender. But Stringer, he's been the role player, eh? He's done all that sort of nitty-gritty work. And it's just but his timing touches down in the final.
Yep, definitely that man. One who does all the hard mahi, never gets all the credit, but makes those around him look good. Auckland hot on attack again. Need to be the next to score. Oh, beautiful pickup. The defender in 2 minds, whether to go for the player or the ball. Good pass, but the pickup was the key there, Hika.
Yeah, nice combination too. And here's Weston. Comes there, outside quick, he gets it, steps back, and then look at this pass. And Quinn, beautiful hands. Lovely finish. Quinn touches down. These young boys have had a great tournament. This is day 3 of the tournament coming through, and they're into the gold medal match. But there you go. 3 is nothing in a final, and I'm sure Georgie would know that over the many, many years being in finals, and teams have been 3 ahead, and you've managed to peg them back, Georgie.
Up a bit of what do they call it, cornhole. I was in the cornhole final against myself in the Bunnings activation area, but going back to finals here. Yep, we got a big showdown here. Nelson in a very good position, and with 15 minutes to go, anything could happen. So let's finish strong for Nelson.
Yeah, 9-6. If you've just tuned in, this is the Bunnings Warehouse Touch Championships for 2023. Kei Te Papaioia, we're here in the Manawatu, Palmerston North, these beautiful lands of Rangitane, and there's a little bit of sun out there, Georgie, bit of sunblock on from Bunnings.
That's right, they've put on a bit more heat now. It's a little bit of a breeze there, but the sun is coming, the heat is coming, and more heat from Nelson has been brought to the finals field stage.
I'll tell you what, Simon, he's really showed up today. So he's just got speed. Look at the angle, goes through. and on Isaac, man, nothing but respect for Isaac. I've seen him throughout the whole tournament. Cool, if he's missed, he's missed. Yeah, real honest touch there. So there we go. Nelson lead Auckland 10-6.
Yep, someone just whispered in my ear. I think Hicks might have got the wrong Anderson, and I just turned around and said, no, just needs them both. As we see, Simon Anderson being a key player for Nelson in the 2 games that I've watched. But Auckland back on attack. Really surprised here just to see that's 5 now in a row Nelson have scored. Auckland haven't scored a touchdown. Oh, just 1, sorry, that's right. So 5-1 in this last little time. As you see Isaac Walker go around the back, steps off his right, looking for options inside. Not quite a phase play. Steps off his left now this time. See the late cut. Oh, got out of jail there, Auckland. Probably not much on.
Yeah, and they look a lot more connected defensively. So he goes here, so man's up here, sees the late cut, holds in the lane, just has a bite at the ball there. He won't be happy with himself, Ben. But they'll back themselves to back this set. So here we go again. Here goes Tarokura, a little out ball here. Yeah, read it well. Oh, great, good feet. Good feet.
Something out of nothing also there.
Yeah.
Biddle's the key, I imagine, Hicka, in terms of if Auckland have any chance to come back.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And even Brokura, like he's a very good setting player, experience, going to go through short side. It looks like he might have got that ball down.
Oh, I'm not sure what happened there. Forward pass, yep. Otherwise, I think the referee would have back for the touchdown.
Yeah, so he's very handy. So you've got, so he comes through here. Oh, forward pass. So it's definitely ball down. But I see the touchdowns right there. Cam McDonald.
Yep, the support referee. See Nelson working away, getting back into their area, which they're so comfortable with. We see Stringer that key, normally working with
Sproul.
Simon.
Tony.
Simon will be out on the link.
Going to kick over here. There's Simon, number 9. Oh,
boom.
Great read by the Auckland winger. Just held that space.
Looks like penalty. Not moving forward. The Auckland players in the middle of the field there, just not moving forward. As we see Stringer go down. 32 pick. Simon with that beautiful ability, but great read, as you said.
Yep, she's had a good tournament also, Madison. I watched her play throughout the last 3 days. Here's Tony. He's got some nippy feet, Tony. He might go through. Here he goes. Yeah, that's good defence. Here we go, Biddle. Tahuri. They'll back it up with the yards deep. Very strong through all 3 zones. See Sophie's out there also. Hedawini on the far side wing. There's Tony. There's this out ball. Simon just goes through. Yeah, great defence. A little phase play. Might use his feet here.
Oh, how do you sidestep with your chest? Because that's what it looked like he did.
Great touch from Tarokura. Here goes speed. Oh, here's this skip through the hands. Good touch, Auckland. Yeah, she's having a great half. Madison. Here's it on the Bunnings warehouse. So it's this late little. Yeah, there it is. They ran it well. It's probably the skip pass was on. Over the top there, Georgie. I see the crowd's really getting into it on the sideline.
The crowds, especially the oldies, they love that move. That's the show X from back in the day. 2 sliding across with the 3rd doing the cut. Oh, what a beautiful play on the 5th and final.
Nice.
Yeah, everyone's loving it. I got a bit sidetracked there because I was on one side and it was the Nelson side. That's why I heard all the roaring for Nelson. I make my way around to the other side and there's definitely some Auckland supporters here. So it's a very balanced crowd out there now that I've gone to both sides of the field.
Yeah. Show X, is that sounds like a name of a nightclub. But here we go. Here's 7 Ryan. Like I said, he's handy. He's
timely.
Very handy. Yeah, very timely. And we go. And Lewis Puru, 12 dots down. Yeah, and this is it. It's I think 5th and final touch here. So it goes. Got the little right foot whack. Bang. Very deceived. He done this in the semi actually. And touchdown. I think he's trying to call for the push-off, but that's the norm. I think Charlene Bannister started that back in the late 90s, push-off touchdown. So there we go, 10-7, 10 minutes, plenty of time, and 3 touchdowns is nothing in our sport. But Benny's out there, also in tandem with Connor Wilkins. Oh, there's Demi. Isn't there an actor, Demi Moore?
I don't know, but she wasn't acting there. She's just all quality. Demi Sultan, just solid. It must be so confident for boys when you're playing with strong females like Demi, as we see just the wraparound play off the back of that touch. the defender probably done himself out of a good recovery as a result of how strong he tried to be in that touch. The link had to come in to help out, and unfortunately there's big space on the outside of that link.
Yeah, and good on young Malachi. There's a time to be technical and physical, and they'll learn the art of that. But yeah, great finish. And just an uncharacteristic an error on the tip-off. But once again, Georgie, you've been in this position a few times in your career. What is it when you're down by a few? What's happening in the sub-box? Is it just chip away one at a time?
Yeah, you got to keep calm and composed in these situations. You can't get all the fire in the head. It's got to stay in the belly. You got to keep cool as ice. The coach is sending out commands. You got to be organised when you go onto the field, and you got to be 100% in your basics going forward. That's all you can ask for, and you capitalise as best you can on the final sets and final touches.
Just a shout out, as we see an unfortunate error there from Nelson, to the refs. There was a lot of referee involvement in that first 4 minutes of the game, setting the standard, making sure all the players needed to be accurate, and we haven't really heard much of them other than awarding one of the 18 touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns. That's really, really good touch. That's what we want to see. Obviously, we don't want some defence to be there as well, but 18 touchdowns in 31 minutes is Auckland. Biddle with the ball, tries to poke through. Good defence there from Nelson. Good set from both teams.
Yep, they've really tightened up, so they went to a man, sort of a half man in the hole. And defended that well. And Ben's role, he's taken on that role. He's decided to stay defensively, yards. Jackson Taikato's also changed again. But the hot hand is Simon Anderson coming through, and also Tony. So there's here we go. They've changed the combo up again. So they're very confident with this stuff. I'll skip past over the top. There's Demi, just using his speed. Oh, good intercept there. So that's a 0-0 count. But just, hey, once again, our man Rangi, all the way from Muri in the Cook Islands. He just sends a big kia ora ana, meitaki mata. And just, he said that he's just planning a new row of kumara over there. So next, if you head over there, Maya, go see my man Rangi in Muri in the Cook Islands, and he'll hook you up with some beautiful kumara.
Not all of us have jobs like yours where the taxman doesn't come to their hika, so just got to head down, bum up with the mahi as we see. Auckland, they're pointing at each other. You didn't touch me, yes I did.
The taxman, we brought the taxman up again. The last few days I've heard the taxman this, the taxman that. I pay my taxes, my travel taxes, and I'll be going to see Rangi in Muri, but check it out. And yes, simultaneous. Those are tough ones, those ones. But as you say, we back the refs. Nice, good, strong touch there. Coming off again. Here's the transition. Just coming through. Here comes our man. I'm going to call him 009, bro. It's all 009, Simon Anderson. Just at will. Speed to burn. He's going to smoke through there. Come around, do a little dance, have a cup of tea, and touchdown. There we go. Here's old 009. We've got our man, Big Guns.
He doesn't care what you call him. He just wants you to ring him on the phone and say, I've got a spot in my team for you, I think.
Wow.
Just Simon Anderson, as you see, just gets on the outside, beats the other 9 from Auckland, avoids going over the dead ball line, knew where his player was coming from and gets a touchdown.
Oh, 009 too good. Look at those dance moves. Dancing, wicking and waving. Better than the moves that were put out there last night at the Masters prize giving. Here we go. What a game we have. 12-7 to Nelson.
And, man, I saw a good friend of ours, yours also, Georgie Wisang Paka. Man, he's done a lot of mahi down over there in Motueka. He made the New Zealand Open mixed. Come from, Nelson was playing for Canterbury, and I've seen him walking around the last few days. I'm sure he's in the crowd somewhere, and it's had a lot to do with some of these young players.
Well, I'll tell you a story. He's about 10 metres down from me at the moment, with shades on, cap on, looking very suspect watching the touch at the moment. I don't know why he looks suspect, but he's enjoying the touch at the moment.
I think it's called sun smart. The sun's out there. He doesn't want to get sunstroke, so as we see Stringer on the ball here, working again with Taikato. I like the fact that we got a new combo here. Stringer gets through. Good touch there from Auckland. Stringer's sort of,
great touch.
As this game's gone on, he's involved himself a lot more in this attack.
But just back to Wisang, Georgie. He's a man from the top of the South Island, isn't he? Come through there, and I know he helped coach some of the secondary school stuff, and he's a bit of a stalwart for Nelson Touch, isn't he?
Yeah, it's good to see him back in the game, giving back and playing open levels, and also playing with the 45, scoring the winning try and the drop-off there to take the gold medal for the Canterbury 45 men's. What a great game, what a great man, and a great event.
Yeah, and there's Demi again. Penalty on the it's a good call from the ref. I don't think I've seen too many on the fifth and final, because you always see, you try and call them early in the count. So, yeah, great call from the ref. Here goes Western. There's Biddle at half. Little crossover quick. Here's this play. Unfortunately just rushed the pass, but I like the confidence of these young ones. They're stepping up and having a real good crack.
Very accurate there from Nelson. Good defence. Back into that yard set. Third touch, halfway. No, that was unfortunately just left a little bit too early. I like the intent, though. That's what Auckland need to do.
Yep.
Try and get someone to lift up nice and high, just to stem that momentum that this Nelson juggernaut on the yards has. As we see here, Ben Anderson now. Haven't seen him on the ball too much. Working here with Patterson. Gets it quickly, back to the middle.
Yeah, but you said it. There's these players that are stepping up, coming through and playing in the big finals. Demi's one, and definitely Simon are players to watch. But been around the game for a little while, and we always try and find that little rough pounamu. And there's definitely a couple coming through from both sides. Got X there, Maya?
Yep, must have had a few words. As we see Henry Anderson just trying to work the short side. Yep, I didn't actually see it, but I imagine in that context there's probably said a few words to the referee who said, go over to the box, chill out, talk to your coach, and we'll see you in a bit. As we see the two brothers, Ben and dummy half, Henry wrapping around, steps off his right, goes short side. Oh, beautiful little play there, Hooker.
Yeah, well, Auckland have lost the female later in the first half. So now Auckland are playing with 4 ladies. That's tough. There's only 1 female sub, and it's just it's just very, very taxing. And also the Auckland boys, there's one player coming on just now and then, but here we go through here. Yeah, and there's just been, I guess, perseverance when they get down there. So I do want to give a shout out to the Auckland ladies playing with only 1 sub.
Yeah, this Auckland team's done very well today. Losing key player Lewis Nicol, who has to be on sideline in a coaching role today. He's usually setting up 7 tries and probably scoring for himself in these big events. Unfortunately, he's got a broken calf that I'm aware of, and I think with the time at hand, I think we're going to have a broken consecutive 7 years for Auckland in this situation. But in saying that, Auckland have come back with another try to take it to 8-13.
Yeah, they'll go all the way. Yeah, and you're right there, Georgie. It's still come down to contribute. Louis caught up with him, and he said it's quite hard, not playing, but he's still in there contributing, supporting Peter Samuels. And I talked earlier about Tony Lagahetel, who started the reign for Auckland. I think Lewis it'd be interesting to see how many goals he's won with this mixed team. I do remember maybe Otago, the first time Otago made that final, might have been his first final. I do know Wiramu Takare won there, Nat Turner, obviously Mark Hodson, and they've won a whole bunch of gold medals and moved into different grades. So who would have ever thought, George, that anyone could get even close to that Bay of Plenty title of 9 in a row?
Yeah, Kaupai, it's been over years, and it took a monumental man, Peter Walters, to go in there and knock them off and not let them get those double digits. And speaking of double digits, Nelson are well into them in this grand final, picking and going short side off the scoop of the wrapper. And there we go, another dot down. 14 touchdowns to 7, 21 touchdowns in this great game with a minute and a half to go.
Yeah, Jade was right there. Great defence, shadow defence by Jade. But Ben wanted to join the party with old 009, getting on the highlights. But here we go. Isabiddle, he's in there again on the ball for Auckland. Going to get the ball there, step back through. And, I've really liked Quinn off the ball, number 3. Runs some very nice attacking lines.
It's a real surprise. I've just been a little bit quiet here. 14-7. I didn't expect the size of the score, I guess, in terms of the gap between the two teams. As you said, Auckland on the last 7, as we see, going short side play. Yep, ball down. Great work there. We're into the last minute, not giving up. Great to see from the Auckland team. 14-8. See in the replay. Sorry, this is from the previous try. This is our try here. You see, nice and static. Not really much on. Maybe the Nelson defence just buttoned off a bit. Just a simple quickie. Goes to the short side. Beats the defender. Shutting defender. Good try there from the Auckland player.
Beautiful to watch, young Quinn. Inside shoulder plant, then forces that link to corner, then steps back in. Yeah, nice stuff. Holly's in there at half, and they're just going to wind the clock down now. Here's Ben. And man, he's been very committed to this Nelson team. He actually lives in Christchurch. Could have easily gone to the Canterbury men's, but he stuck with the whānau because he believed that they could do it this year. And so, yeah, hats off to Nelson and the Anderson whānau. There it is. First time to my knowledge of taking out the big one, Nelson Open Mix. They will be crowned the 2023 champions 14-8 over an amazing reign from Auckland. They've set the standard for a long, long time, Maya, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of happy people from the top of the north, but actually a lot of proud people with just how well this Auckland team's sort of gave in this Open Mixed grade a good old nudge.
Yeah, it's great to see Nelson for the first time, if you're correct there, Hika, to win this prestigious trophy in the Open Mixed grade. And it's also a little bit, sort of sad that Auckland and the run they've been on and just the cards they've been dealt just before this tournament with Lewis, not being able to probably give it the crack that they thought they were going to come down here and be able to do. But well done to Nelson. I really like the way they play. I think their yards is amazing. Defence is really good, even though in the middle there was a little bit, probably not what they like. But for me, big shout out to the referees again. That's a lot of touchdowns, and that only happens because you can go from one end to the other. So a great performance by the team of referees, and good final. Good of our first Open final ticket.
Yeah, well, if we looked at secondary schools, Otago Boys, King's College, I don't think we've ever seen two South Island teams in that final. Then also in the mixed grade, and now look, the Open Mix. So there's definitely something in the water in the South Island. I know the women's Otago in the final there. So yeah, there's a lot of great mahi going on, and I just want to shout out to Naza Silbury. He ran the Kaiawa tournament, and just the people I've been talking to from the north and the south have just said it's just so awesome. It's like a South Island Nationals that they can have to grow the game. So that is your final, and I'm getting the word from old Chucky. Is it a hold or is it a go? It's a go. Keep talking, my bro. Okay, we'll keep talking. He's doing the old duck sign, the old duck rockers for life. So we've got to keep doing this one. But there we have it. You can just see Waino there. He's played for a lot of provinces. He played for Horowhenua Kapiti Masters, won a gold. So it's great stuff. There's Louis there. He's given his order to this team. He could have easily gone and played men's, but he's given some quality years to this team. There we have George. He looks like we're going to go live to George. George Jonke there with the Auckland mixed coach, Peter Samuels.
Kia ora tātou katoa. I'm here at Onley Park on the grand finals field. We had a showdown between Auckland and Nelson in the Open Mix. I'm here with the Auckland coach, Peter Samuels. You've been on a journey for a very long time with many, many titles. Today was a big day. Commiserations for you all. But tell us about this strong journey that you've had with these young characters over these 7 years.
Yeah, no, Georgie, it's just all about character, just building them from, just young guys, just getting them through our Auckland Mix program, I think it's just credit to Lou and all of them, just keep coming back and building our young talent to come through. But yeah, it's just about that, just getting this young talent coming through. And
nice. You're a great man in Auckland, and you've done a lot with the tamariki, and you've brought them through the age groups. You've done a lot with these tamariki. You've actually helped within the NZ sector as well. It's good to see what you're doing. I wanted to put this man's face on camera because he does a lot for our community. So we thank you very much. We wish you all the best. Have you got any messages for our young tamariki out there, my friend?
Just keep going. Please keep going. One failure is another learning course. So, just keep going, keep grinding, keep going. That's all.
Exactly. And that's all we want for you. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and keep bringing our youth through this game. Thank you very much, Pete. I'm going over to the winning captain, Ben Anderson, with the fresh cap. He must have known he was going to be on TV today. I see him once again. Mate, it's been a journey. I talked about the journey with Peter Samuels, coach over this side. Now I'm talking you to the captain. You've been on a journey. You've been close. You've been far. You're very close. And you're here now. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it feels pretty good, but thought the team played awesome. Everyone contributed. And I think that's Nelson touch for us, not flashy, and work hard, play as a team, and yeah, feels super good,
Nice, and you're a man. You're hot property. You're one of the finest athletes in New Zealand at the moment, in the New Zealand black shirt and so forth. Everyone's looking at you. Living down in Canterbury. Canterbury men's Open want you. Everyone else wants you. It's a bit of a distance. So what did it take to go back to Nelson, and why did you go back to Nelson?
Pretty easy, to be fair. Like, Dad's coaching, Mum helps out. the two brothers, grew up with all the players in their school, and yeah, it's just so enjoyable. I mean, we all play touch for a start because we enjoy it, and yeah, it's nothing better than going back and playing for your hometown.
Right on the money, and this game is all about whānau. He talks about it here and how good it's going to feel with your whānau tonight. Finally getting it, the Champions of Champions 2023 Open Mix. Nelson, let's hear it for them. My man, what is it? Touch.
What a game.
It's out. You guys celebrate, my friend. Well earned.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, brother.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.